Go.
Oh, well, I'll be there too.
No, I said don't spoil. Like, don't be looking up the score.
Okay.
Go.
All right, cool.
No,
So,
I'll be there too. No, I said don't spoil. Like, don't be looking up the score.
okay, so got the same thing going on. So let me come out. I'm gonna sign out of the
All right, cool. So,
YouTube window. There we go. All right, so yeah, so it should be live on YouTube now, and so I can't hear it, which is cool because I can sign out of it. So are you seeing on my screen the whole playoff bracket?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Good deal, good deal, good deal. So there you go. So you see the bracket there. You see what's been going on over the past week, right?
Yeah.
So now the question is, um, looking at where things are right now, which most of the teams have played 3 games. We still have some that that will do game 3 today. And then you'll have several teams that will be playing their 4th game tomorrow. So let me ask you this. So far, looking at the brackets and everything, what's your biggest surprise so far?
Um, I think the most obvious one is Milwaukee up 3-0 on Miami. Um, I didn't think Milwaukee. I think I picked Milwaukee to win in 6, but I didn't expect a sweep because they will sweep Miami tomorrow. They've completely demoralized the team. They don't even look like themselves anymore. They somehow reverted Bam to a below average center. I don't know how. His mid range game disappeared. Jimmy Butler doesn't look the same. Tyler Hero definitely doesn't look the same. They're just better. I mean, they're just a better team. Drew Holiday, Brent Forbes, PJ Tucker, great pickups. Miami got Dwayne Dedman. That's not really. Now, if Oladipo would have been healthy, it may have been a different series. But since he's not, Milwaukee made upgrades and Miami didn't. So it's showing in this series.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So we'll start with that one, man, because um, did I see Milwaukee winning? Yes, I had Milwaukee winning this one. I thought this would be one of the most hard fought series in the first round, really, because it was like one of these teams will lose in the first round, which seemed crazy because of the way they were playing at the end of the season. I felt like Miami was ready. They had found their stride. And, Milwaukee, I think I'm more of a believer in what Milwaukee came into the year with. I really felt like Holiday would make a huge difference, even though in the regular season he was out with COVID. He was out quite a bit during the regular season, and towards the end of the season, though, you could kind of see how he may have an impact. And then two, I felt like Milwaukee, with even though their defensive rating in the regular season wasn't in the top 10, I felt like once the playoffs started, the way they're constructed, I felt like they would be, and plus bringing PJ Tucker in late, I felt like there'd be something hard to deal with in the playoffs. So up 3-0 right now, and that game's actually at 1:30 today, John. Miami season is over. I don't see any way, shape, form, or fashion that they win that game today. I really don't.
Me either.
Because I mean, it's nothing they can really do different. Um, even in that first game, and I know we had a little difference opinion on what that first game meant. Um, but when I looked at that first game, man, I saw, okay, Miami hit 23s. Okay, Duncan Robinson, he went off like he did in the finals. He has one of those games where he just goes off and 6, 7 threes that he made. Jimmy didn't play well, but I felt like with Antetokounmpo on Jimmy most of the time, that Jimmy was going to have problems. And And I didn't feel like Milwaukee played that well because they didn't shoot well at all in that first game, and they still won. I was like, I don't know. But anyway, no, I didn't see it being 3-0 by any means. Yep. So let's go down to the game below that one, which we saw last night. What's your take on Boston and Brooklyn?
I mean, the main headline is Jason Tatum is a problem. This is twice now he's had 50 in crucial games in this little play-in playoff journey. So my thing is, if he had took the leap like this and Jaylen Brown was healthy, they may have given Brooklyn a more competitive series than what it's going to be. Brooklyn's still going to win this in 5. I mean, Tatum has 50. Kyrie has his worst game he's going to have in the playoffs, and they won by 6 points. I don't see how Boston wins another game. I mean, they'll be at full capacity for game 4. It'll be super loud. Kyrie may get rattled again. I doubt it. But, yeah, I mean, if Tatum was more consistent, I would say Boston has a real chance to win the next game. But Tatum, just as he went for 50, could easily have 14 the next game. I was shooting 3 for 18 from the field. So, I mean, but it was nice to see. I mean, Tatum did go off. He went off on anybody that tried to guard him. So when he's on, he's definitely unguardable. But yeah, it was a good job for Boston to steal one, but that's it.
Okay. You know what? I feel a little bit different about this one. I'm gonna go into this box score a little bit because I think the box score a lot of times tells a better story, right? And this is why I feel like I feel like they will definitely win the game Sunday. And that may be the last game they win, but I feel like they will definitely win Sunday. And sometimes I look at, okay, and I know, some people may say, well, you can't depend on Kemba anyway. But just like you said, Kyrie played a better game than Kemba, and Kyrie was off, but he started hitting in the fourth quarter. I think Kemba's going to have one of his breakout games on Sunday. I think you're going to see Kemba Walker, 25 plus points. I'm going to say that for Kemba. But when you look at the box score, this is what's crazy, John. Okay, Kyrie has 16. Okay, that's 10 below his season average, right? Durant had 39. That's 13 above his season average. James Harden had 41. That's another 10 or 12 above his season average. And this is what I think you're going to see happen in the playoffs more so than not. These other people, that's what I think you're going to see throughout the playoffs, is these other people in single digits because of how many shots these three take in a game. In my estimation, they'll beat Boston because Boston they don't have the tools and the weapons to really compete with them. It's really the big three. It's the big three really against a good team. And in my estimation, not too much else. I think this is what you will see against Milwaukee. And this against Milwaukee will have them out in 6 games, which I'm giving my prediction for that series early. But okay, look at the Celtics. Yeah, Jason had 50, but nobody else had over 25. Marcus Smart with 23. Tristan Thompson with 19. I'm going to tell you why that happened is because Brad Stevens got smart and of course, Williams got hurt. But the other part of it is they can't defend the post. They can't defend the rim. They really don't they don't play that kind of ball. They don't play DeAndre Jordan at all pretty much now. So they're strictly going small ball. Mike D'Antoni, Steve Nash, they implement that whole small ball theory. And Tristan Thompson dominated them. Okay, 19 from him. Fournier, 17. Look at this. Kemba Walker, 6 points. So what I'm looking at is, I'm like, Sunday, I expect this to be 25 plus. Do I expect Tristan Thompson to get 19 again? I expect them to get about 15 because they're going to go to him. They're going to look to dominate. They know they can impose their will on this team because they're not, as I've been saying, that great defensively. They're just not. And Smart, will he have 23 again? Maybe, maybe not, because he can get hot. He can hit shots. I don't think Taysom will need 50. If he has 35 plus, I think they'll win again Sunday, which I think they will win Sunday. But that will probably be curtains for him. But that number right here in the playoffs, team scoring 125 on you in the playoffs, that's not a recipe to beat Milwaukee. Just my opinion. I mean, you can.
This series is not going any more than 5 games, man.
Okay.
Tatum is not having anywhere close to 50 next game.
No,
Like,
I don't think
he
I don't
won't.
expect.
No,
I don't
he
expect
won't
him to have
scratch
50.
30. He won't scratch 30.
I disagree.
We've seen what Tatum did. He had 50 in the play-in game against Washington. Game 1 came into Brooklyn at 16 points.
Yeah,
Like,
that was on the road. That was on the road.
I'm telling you, Kyrie Irving will not have that point total. And you saying KD had 39? KD have 39 every single game.
He might in the playoffs.
There's nobody. I'm
saying it's above his senior. It's above his average, but he probably will. I'm not in the playoffs. I mean,
his career average in the playoffs is almost 30 a game.
It is. That's not 39.
I mean, there's nobody on Boston to guard him. There's nobody on Boston to guard Kevin Durant. Who's guarding Kevin Durant on that roster that I'm looking at?
Technically, there's not, John, but this is the thing about the dynamics of the game is when you know who's shooting the ball pretty much, because they're not moving it a lot. It'll be interesting to see how many, okay, I'm going to show you how many total assists they had. Let's look. Okay. Harden had 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 assists in a 48-minute game. 16 assists. I'm telling you, this is even though these are almost unguardable players, but in the playoffs, playing this kind of ball, that's easy to guard. That's even though they're tough players to guard individually, before a team, that's easy. You don't even have the game plan for that, man. If they play like this, where it's going to be their 3 heroes, like taking 90% of the shots. Well, now I don't expect them to get out of the second round anyway. But, yeah.
What about game 2? Why didn't you talk about the ball movement in game 2 where they beat Boston by 1 million?
Yeah, and Tatum played how many minutes?
They were already up 1 million when he got poked.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they were up 1 million to start this game.
They were up 15.
Yeah, 1 million in the
first
we
saw quarter. Dallas last night was up 22.
Yeah.
You want to go to that series next since we there?
We can. So we're gonna leave them alone, huh? I know you love your Nets, but
no, it's more lean. You don't like the Nets.
They're done in round 2. Let's go to let's see. Let's go back to the chart. So we got Clippers. That's where you want to go. Clippers Dallas 2-1. Okay, tell me about that.
Well, it looked like the Clippers season was over in the beginning of that first quarter because Dallas came out. Luka had 14 early, and Kawhi looked very bad in the first 5 minutes because he wasn't aggressive at all. He didn't take a shot, and I said, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
For them to come out like that, huh?
Yeah, I was assuming the Clippers would come out like how Dallas did because their season's on the line. But credit to Kawhi and Paul George, man. They play like how people expect them to play in games like that. Kawhi didn't miss a shot for almost the entire first half. Paul George was cooking. I mean, off the dribble, his handle. He has the best handle for anybody 6'9" and above ever. I mean, he literally just dribbles like a guard.
You think he has a better handle than KD?
Yes.
Okay.
KD's handle is nice, but KD's more get to my spot, pull up. Paul George is like, I'm taking you one-on-one. Like he's dropped 3 people in this series, 3
Okay.
defenders. But yeah, the Clippers, I mean, and Marcus Morris was huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
those threes down the stretch. Yeah.
He had 3 of them from the same spot. That was huge for them. Reggie Jackson gave him a lift too.
He did. He played
And
well.
this was the difference. And I was watching the game at a Mavs fan's house yesterday.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, you guys are in real trouble if Ty Lue can finally wake up and play Rondo the minutes he's supposed to play.
Okay.
Rondo, the Clippers play so much better when Rondo is on the floor because Kawhi and Paul George don't have to bring the ball up the court. They can
That's
get to
true.
that spot. Rondo gets them in the set. They come off a curl or a back screen or a down screen, and you get the ball, and then you can operate from there, or you still have a live dribble. So this series is tough. I mean, I said the Clippers in 6, I believe. And if they win game 4, they may actually just win 4 in a row. Because all the Clippers need to do is see that they can beat them. Because they're a mental type of team.
Mm-hmm.
You win that game, they got some confidence. I mean, Dallas is gonna be a packed house for game 4. I think Dallas is gonna come out punching again. Porzingis was upsetting me because you cannot be 7-3 and not take a singular paint shot.
Yeah, I think he knows that. I watched him in the post game interview. I think he understands that he's got to post up when they're playing small and they got guards on him. Man, it's like, come on, dude, you are 7-3. You are 7-3. So yeah, the Clippers. Let's look at this box score. Yeah, they played good, man. I mean, Kawhi was on, man. He was on automatic. He wasn't missing a shot. 42 minutes. We'll see how that works out in game 4. Marcus Morris Sr. Them threes were crucial down the stretch. He really did. He basically brought him home, man, with those 3 threes. Paul George, 29, first half on through the third quarter. He played extremely well, keeping him in the game. Him and Kawhi, Reggie Jackson, his contributions were solid. Rondo, not a lot of points, but those 8 assists, controlling the game. I agree with you there. Terrence Mann, his defense and his activity, man. 6 rebounds in 19 minutes. He is second leading rebounder in just 19 minutes in the game. He's that kind of player, hustle player, grit, you know what I'm saying? And now, will this part right here remain?
Yes,
Probably.
Ty Lue is a championship coach.
Ty don't care.
He knows. Pat Beverly serves no purpose in this series because
right.
he can't guard Luka. He can't.
No. Now he can. Well, you know what? I guess you can say Rondo bothered him some. But this is the thing. This is what I see happening in the next game. I do expect the Mavericks to win, and I expect Dallas to win this in 6. I originally said the Clippers in 6, but I said if it goes 7, I'll take Dallas over the Clippers because of I literally trust Luka more than Kawhi and Paul George. Crazy as that sounds. But this right here from Porzingis, these 2 numbers right here, 1 is points, less than double digits, and he's supposed to be the second best player on the team. And this right here at 7-3. How in the world are you only coming down with 3 rebounds in 34 minutes? And Terrence Mann plays 19 minutes and gets 6 rebounds. This is just, and I was watching Porzingis on the court. he really wasn't giving the effort, man. He wasn't. He, you know what I think about? I don't think he likes playing with Luka anymore, and I think he may want out whenever he can get out. He may ask for a trade at the end of the season because one, if they lose this series, I guarantee he'll ask for a trade at the end of the season because he wasn't engaged, man. He wasn't engaged like I've seen him play at different times. And this is the playoffs, your first home playoff game with Dallas. And he no-showed. That's what he did. He no-showed. Finney Smith, of course, he can play better. He can hit more shots. I don't know if he got the shots. You know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see how many shots he actually attempted. Cleaver's been pretty solid. He's been pretty solid. His three-point game is back. He had a stretch last year where he couldn't hit anything. But I think in the playoffs last year. But he's back, man. Busting threes. Hardaway, he could have played better, but I think I heard him say Hardaway only took 6 shots. I mean, so the bottom line is Brunson is solid, man. I like that dude anytime he's in the game. And Josh Richardson, generally speaking, you know, you usually would get more from him, but they didn't play him a ton. I mean, he only had 16 minutes. So bottom line on this right here, box score, I expect Porzingis. If Porzingis scores 20, it's not even a game. If he scores 20 on Sunday, Clippers basically have no chance because they really don't have any. They can't do anything with this dude.
Yeah, I think he's making a serious case. He's a top 5 player in the NBA. Man.
He's making a serious case. He's a top 5 player.
I mean, it's literally nothing. It's nothing you can do.
No. The only people I see slowing him down is somebody like the Lakers, because LeBron would take it personally, and they ain't gonna call fouls on LeBron. Not enough to get him in foul trouble. I'm just being real. Not enough to get him in foul trouble. So LeBron has the size to muscle up on him, get physical, and but anyway, let's get back to the bracket. So in that series, okay, you still have the Clippers in 6. That's what you're saying. And,
well, I don't want to change it now.
Yeah, I got you. And you think the Clippers win Sunday?
I mean, it's a must win. They lose Sunday, it's over. They're not coming back from a 3-1.
3-1, right.
Luka's just too good of a player to lose 3 straight like that.
Yeah. And I think too, I think they'll be in Dallas ear, man. I think, I think the coach will let them know that, hey, look, this is like a must win for us. Not that we can't win, with the tie 2-2, but this is almost like a must win.
I mean, it is, because in a sense, if the Clippers win game 4, they just took home court right back from them.
They took it back. So
that's gonna be a really, a lot of people are gonna be watching that game.
Oh yeah.
I think the most people will be watching that game.
Oh, Sunday's loaded, man. Sunday's loaded with some gems. You hear me? Sunday is loaded. So where you want to go from here?
We'll go right above that. Probably
guys back. Okay. 1-1. The 1 and the 8. What'd you see in that one?
Ja Morant's for real.
Yeah.
He's the real deal. If he gets a jumper where it's pure, as in coming off of moves into shots, he'll be a top 5 point guard in the league, because it's You can't stop. He's like Trae Young getting to the basket. You can't stop them getting to the basket.
Yeah.
Only difference between him and Trae Young is Trae Young lacks the athleticism to actually do stuff in the air.
Yeah.
Ja Morant has a left hand, right hand. He can go reverse. He can dunk on you. He's for real. And Memphis has no business taking a Utah team like this 6 games, but Memphis will win another game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think Donovan Mitchell coming back. I wanted to see how his ankle looked. His ankle looks perfectly fine. So
I know, man. He shocked me. He shocked me with the way that he played.
He shocked me too. Well, in the post game, he said that he put himself through like crazy situations before he returned to like prepare him for like playoff intensity basketball. And I guess it paid off.
Whatever he did, man, he need to sell it
and give it to LeBron.
Right. Right.
Because they had the same injury.
Right. Because he came back looking like he came back looking better than when he left.
He didn't. Okay, I don't know about better, but he. I mean, his first couple shots they dropped. He had an 1-3. He was driving, cutting. So I was like, no wonder why he was mad at the game 1 because they wouldn't play him. He was ready.
Yeah, he looked like he was ready. See, this game right here is going to be interesting. They play today, right? They play today at 9:30 tonight. This is going to be interesting because I expect and like you said, I think I said from the onset that the Grizzlies would win 2, that the Jazz, would win in 6. And that was because these guys they're a lot strappier than people even imagine, and they have gotten better. They've gotten better as the season progressed, the playing games, the playoffs, and they will continue to get better because Jackson, he's going to continue to find his legs. He's going to be able to contribute more, and this is what's going to happen too in Memphis. People are part, the game is called a little bit differently home and away, just from the crowd reaction and everything and human nature when it comes to the refs. Both Dillon Brooks and Valanciunas were both in foul trouble again. They missed a lot of time in that game. Look at Brooks' minutes, 28. You know what I mean? That's like 10 to 12 minutes that he couldn't be on the floor because Brooks would play 40 minutes. Him and Ja, they're going to be 40 plus minutes in the playoffs because they're the cornerstones. Really, it used to be Jackson, but but he's playing better. That's 16. Yeah, he's finding his groove. But Valanciunas, he only played 30 minutes and 18.6 rebounds. He was on the bench a lot. You give him 8 more minutes. And you give Brooks 12 more minutes in that game. And it's a to the wire who's going to make the last shot. That's what that game, in my estimation, that's what that game would have looked like, even with Mitchell back and playing well. But you look at the Jazz, they got some pretty balanced scoring across the board. Look at that, man. What they got? 8 people in double figures? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double figures? That's crazy. That's crazy in the playoffs. Now, and the thing about this, you look at this sheet right here, John, and I know from game to game, you're going to see different things happen, and not picking on Brooklyn, but I am. Those 3 in double figures with Brooklyn, they're going to be high double figures, crazy scoring, even though only 2 of them were in high double figures against the Celtics the last game. But this team right here is harder to guard than Brooklyn. Harder to guard because you got so many people that can hurt you. Well, now Rudy, his numbers look like this too because, again, Valanciunas was out, 8 minutes more than what he probably usually would be. But pretty balanced scoring. And your guy, he definitely looked good. He didn't have no assists, but he was a finisher, not a,
Well,
they
that's
were looking
mainly
at
in
him.
part because Conley had 15
Yeah, Conley did have 15.
though. So Mike Conley was definitely taking on full point guard responsibilities.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
no doubt.
Donovan, see the thing about that, Donovan had 25 and 26 minutes. By the end of the series, he's gonna be playing 10 more minutes in that game.
That is true.
So he will be 30 a game for them. And the thing with Dylan Brooks, I think he's gonna be in foul trouble for the rest of this way because that first game he was allowed to do his thing because nobody's putting pressure on Dylan Brooks in terms of you have to guard him, hand check him, bump him. Like Mike Conley's good, but he's not that type of player. Ja Morant can hold his own.
Mm.
But with Donovan Mitchell on the floor, Dylan Brooks has to play him not like a Steph Curry, but you have to be all up on Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
He put pressure on the defense. And same thing with Valanciunas being in foul trouble. He has to worry about Gobert and Donovan Mitchell being such the driver he is to the basket.
Him passes, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so it's gonna be tough for Memphis. They'll win another one. They'll win one of these next two.
Yeah, I mean the game at home. Well, they got two at home. Oh, they just starting at home. That's right. Okay. Wow. You know what's interesting? This might go 7, John, because Utah in the regular season, as good as their record was, they were not a great road team. They were not a great road team. I wish I had the information right here. I could pull it up, but they were phenomenal at home, but they were not a great road team. I think they only lost 5 home games during the regular season. So I guess you could do the math and figure out the rest. All right, where we going from here? So you said you have, okay, this is a 6-game series. I said 6 starting out, but I think it's gonna go 7. Utah will win, but I think it'll be a 7-game series. Shake your head, no. Where you want to go from here?
Let's go where your cursor is. Let's go to LA.
LA. All right, California knows how to party, huh?
2-7
matchup. So what have you seen so far? What did you think of that last game? Because we've talked before the other one.
The Lakers look better. We haven't found our stroke yet from the 3-point line, but
that's true.
LeBron was attacking the basket like old LeBron.
Yeah, in the second
half. And this extra day of rest, I think you're finna see. I think LeBron knows how important this game is.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of not letting them tie going back to a full crowd in Phoenix, Chris Paul potentially being healthy by then.
Right.
So I think Chris Paul's going to look pretty good tomorrow.
How many points?
I think I have 15, but he'll be able to play in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So I think LeBron knows that, having that extra day of rest. He's looking like his legs are finally getting back under him. And I think he's going to be aggressive the entire game. I think it's going to be one of those 30-point triple-double games.
Okay. All right. 30-plus game for LeBron.
Most definitely. AD, since he knows can't nobody check him, he'll have another 30 game.
Do you think he's getting kind of perturbed that people are saying Aiden basically is playing him to a standstill, even though he did have those back-to-back 34-point games?
Yeah, I mean, Aiden is averaging 22 and 11 in this series.
Right.
I mean, it's not, but Aiden is a good young big. I mean, he has a bright future.
Yeah.
For him to be doing this in his first playoff appearance is pretty impressive, especially
coming out party
for
him, man.
And so, but yeah, I don't see a way LA loses this game 4.
Okay.
And once it gets 3-1, I mean, it's curtains for the Suns.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go inside his box score. Mikal Bridges, and this is what I expected, man. People were really starting to do a lot of talking because it was 1-1 after the first 2, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Phoenix, they are the number 2 seed. in the Western Conference. I mean, I know the Lakers are the defending champions, but did you expect? I'm saying, like, just people in general, did they expect the Lakers to win both games on the road?
I didn't even expect us to win game one. I mean, I'm saying, I like game one, we usually lose. So
Right,
I wasn't shocked when we lost the first game.
right,
I
right,
was more upset about the first game that was the most winnable game one out of any of the game ones the past 2 years now.
right, right, right.
Because I mean, we held them to 99 points. They're basically just saying take the game, and
Yeah.
we just didn't capitalize. So I was more upset about that, but I wasn't shocked that we lost.
Okay. I got you.
But yeah,
And see, my thing was, and people were saying, and I think Matt Barnes even said this or something like that, that these young boys, they're not scared of the Lakers. They don't know that they're not supposed to. But I'm like, okay, you're at home, right? You starting the playoff series at home with the home crowd, something that, nobody had last year. And you win and you split. I mean, you lost home court advantage. so, but so I felt like this game, the young boys would not perform as well. And you see Cameron Johnson with 6. You see Mikal Bridges with 6. Jay Crowder, he was off. I think he was like 1 for 7 from 3 or something like that, even though he's not a young boy. Devin Booker struggled some, and it wasn't because he was just missing open shots. They were defending him. Even though he can get a bucket, KCP was in his shorts, man. I mean, making it tough for him, being physical with him. You saw the frustration at the end of the game where he just basically just pushed your boy out the air, just like
shoved him.
Whatever. He's like, whatever. And look, and Schroeder can get under people's skin anyway.
Oh yeah, he's good at that type of stuff. He did push-ups after getting pushed like that.
Right. The ref had to go tell him, okay, enough. But and they got nothing from Frank Kaminsky. But now I don't know if Sarge is going to be back. But he's a bench player that can stretch the floor, give him a small ball center, but they don't want to go small ball. And the thing that the Lakers did too, man, they punished Phoenix. But listen, is there a team out there with the size to really deal with the? See, that was my thing. Where everybody talking about their best lineup is when they go small, and they still not small when Davis is at center. They're not small. They're not small because you got LeBron, AD, Kuz. They're not small still. You know what I mean? But they punished Phoenix this game, man. They played big. I like them playing big because when they play big with that mindset that we're going to dominate you because you're too small. And think about it. Like you said, they only hit how many threes? 7?
7 to 28, 25% from 3.
Right. And won by 14. Now they're gonna have times which they're gonna shoot well. They're not gonna shoot like this the whole playoffs. They're gonna shoot that, and it has to. It's almost like even though they had periods in the season where the shooting was terrible, but then it has to balance out. You know what I mean? The numbers don't lie. The numbers have to come back. Like KCP, as bad as he's been shooting, he's a legit 41% three-point shooter. The numbers are going to have to balance out. Yeah, he's going to have a game where he's going to hit 5 of 6 or 5 of 8 or something like that. Those games are coming. Kuzma's going to hit a couple threes in a game. LeBron, he's good for his 1 or 2 or 3, or if he gets hot, 4 or 5. AD is going to hit 2 or 3. They're going to have a game where they hit 12, 14. When they hit 12, really, I look at the Lakers. I think I said this earlier in the season, and it's not even a big number. But when they hit 10 threes or more, they're almost unbeatable. Now, for anybody else, that seems like 10 threes. That's not a lot. But for the Lakers, if they hit 10 threes or more, that means you got to guard the 3-point line, and good luck stopping LeBron. Schroeder's a get to the basket type player. You know, AD can do work inside. But now looking at the box score, Anthony Davis, 34 and 11, came back with back-to-back 34-point games. He's like, yeah, I'm back. 11 rebounds. LeBron, 21, 9, and 6, and he did his work in the second half because he only had 5 points at halftime. You know what I mean? That third quarter, basically. Basically, that run, LeBron, in the third quarter, LeBron pretty much, he took that's the thing about controlling the game. He literally changed the whole tone of the game in the third quarter. Like, yeah, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to get other folks involved. I'm going to drive to the basket. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Now, they did get cute in the fourth, which, you know, bothered me a little bit. And your boys started coming back. Even though Drummond only had 6 points, he was dominant inside with his rebounding, offensive I think he had 5 offensive rebounds in that game. That kind of stuff right there is man, that's demoralizing when you can't get a rebound. And look at these rebounds. 11 for AD, okay, 6 for LeBron, 11 for Drummond, 10 for Kuzma. You know, that's, yeah, we're going to play big. That's what when you playing big, you playing like you're big. And 109 points right now, the way the Lakers playing defense, that'll have them win almost any game. Now, I know when they get over to the East, you know, whatever comes out of there, or even Utah, man. Utah may not be a pushover.
No, they won't be.
When it comes down to it. You know what I mean?
Now, to me right now, Utah is the biggest threat for sure.
Okay. All right, so we got the Lakers. So we got the game coming up. I think we both said the Lakers win Sunday and go up 3-1. LeBron 30-plus game, 30-point triple-double. I'm in agreement with that. Where do you want to go from here? You want to take the last game in this bracket?
Yeah, we can do that.
Denver and Portland.
I should have said this is my most surprising series. I think this just goes to show that maybe Jokic should be unanimous MVP because if we're talking about value to a team,
yeah,
this roster on Denver has no business up 2-1 on Portland right now. I mean, no Jamal Murray, no Will Barton, no PJ Dozier. How are they doing this? And I looked at Jokic's numbers, and now it makes sense. He's averaging 36.
Yeah, he's dominating. There's no doubt about that. He's dominating. And even though you have Dame on the other side, let me go back there to their box score. Even though you have Dame on the other side, Jokic is doing more damage because Jokic is doing more. You know what I mean? He's getting about the same number of assists as Dame, but also, you know, them rebounds and just controlling the floor of the game. And
Austin Rivers was the difference, though.
He was the difference.
I mean, he outshot Dame in the fourth quarter, which nobody could say they did ever.
Oh, man. You got to love Austin Rivers, John. You got to love this cat. And the reason why I say that is because he's taken a lot of heat in his career. But one of the things about Austin that I see about this guy, he's not afraid of the moment, man. That shot he hit against Carolina in the ACC tournament, or one of the last games of the year or something like that, to win that series, win that game against them. He's not afraid of the moment. And even when he was with the Clippers, man, he'd have moments, man, where he would hit shots in Houston. So I don't understand why he was sitting at home for 2 weeks. It's like,
I don't know
okay,
either.
why is he sitting at home at 2 weeks? And I heard him say on a podcast that the word is out that he's a bad locker room guy. That's what he said, that general managers was telling them, like, nah, we know you got skills and can play, and he's like, he's like, I don't know where that came from, but he was the difference in that game. Those
Because
threes,
I think go to Portland's box score. It was either this game or game 2, where I think it was game 2, where Damian Lillard had one of the craziest scores I think I've ever watched live. It was the second quarter.
second quarter before halftime. Yeah.
Was it this game?
No.
Game 2.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm like, something's not adding up here, because Denver won the game by double digits.
Denver did win that game.
And I'm just like, I'm thinking in my head, will Portland win another game? Like, really though? Because how much better can you play than that and lose by double figures still? That just doesn't make sense to me. And you see this right here in the box score. Dame 37, Norman Powell 18, CJ 22, Nurkic 13, 13, and 6, Carmelo 17.
Yeah.
How much better can you play than that?
What more can you do, right?
How much better can you play than that? So now I thought Portland would win the series. Now I got Denver in 6. Now I can't, for some reason, Portland cannot beat Denver 3 times. I can't see it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the way. I mean, it is. It's Jokic. I mean, Jokic is proving, if Jamal Murray and Will Barton were not hurt, they would be legitimate threats to the Lakers. I mean,
okay.
Screaming threat to the Lakers this year.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Jokic is for real, man. I credit to him. I mean, Dame is. You can't ask for more than Dame. He's leading the league in playoff points per game.
Yeah, that's true. So they play today. Let me see what time that game is.
I think it's 4:00.
So who you have winning this? You have, think you said you don't see them winning another game.
I don't. For some reason, I just can't see it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say it's in Portland. The problem with Portland is they don't have a lot of fans up there. So they really don't experience real home courts.
Okay. Like, it's usually hard to win in Portland.
Right. But since they're getting hit by COVID the worst out of all them teams up west.
Right.
And so I think they have like 20% capacity. That's not a real home court feel.
Right.
So Denver doesn't really. Yeah, I got Denver winning. I don't know. Okay. I don't know how. I don't know how they're gonna do it. They're just gonna end up with a W beside that.
Hey, look, I'm gonna ask you to talk to the people just for a couple of minutes. I gotta run out for like 2 minutes. So hold a conversation with the people.
Okay. But like I was saying, with Jokic, he's a very confusing player to watch, because it doesn't look like he's controlling the game that much until the game is over, if that makes sense. When the game is over, you're like, he ended up with 36, 11, and 7. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, I don't know. Portland, I'll tell you this about Portland. They lose this first round, it's a blow up happening. Just like the Clippers. They lose in this first round, they're blowing the team up. I don't know what Portland has to do. I was thinking yesterday, I said, man, if CJ McCollum was on this Dallas team, man, it would be raps for the Clippers. And maybe they need to make that trade. CJ for Kristaps. Zach Collins can't stay healthy. And Kristaps has a real 5 playing alongside him with Dame and Norman Powell. But the thing is, Portland would have to get a good wing, a good starting wing, if CJ will be gone. So maybe you trade CJ for like a Kristaps and a Josh Richardson, or Kristaps and a Tim Hardaway Jr. But yeah, if Portland can't get out the first round, kind of the same type of team. every year they got the same type of roster, and they just can't get over the hump. So that team probably will get blown up if they lose this first round series.
Oh wow! So you think CJ will be gone?
I think, I think, I think Portland and Dallas have a real trade. They could really do that, like Porzingis and Josh Richardson for CJ McCollum.
Wow.
I think it makes both teams better now that I'm really thinking about it.
So you keep Nurk at the 5.
Right. And you let Porzingis play the
You
4.
let him play the 4.
Right. So you don't, because you have a big inside. He doesn't have to play inside.
So you move Covington to the 3.
Right.
Josh Powell at the 2.
Oh, no, Norman Powell.
Norman Powell at the 2.
Norman Powell at the 2. Dame at the 1.
And Dame at the 1, and keep your bench squad pretty much
And
what
we'd
it
have
is.
added Josh Richardson.
Okay. Wow.
And then Dallas, you get a real number 2 for Luka.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. So I guess CJ's better than Hardaway.
He is. I mean, Hardaway could stay there. They would have a smaller team, but that's where the NBA's headed anyway, though.
How tall is Hardaway? I think he's bigger than people realize.
I think he's 6'6".
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he's 6'5" or 6'6".
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that'll work. So what do you? Oh, because basically Luke was your point guard,
right?
At 6'7", so he's really like a 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As far as size wise, so CJ would technically be the size of a point guard, and he's like 6'2", 6'3".
Right.
And then you got a shooting guard that's legit 6'5", 6'6". Yeah. Okay. All right. Wow. Yeah. That would be interesting, man. That would be interesting. So maybe the GMs out there listening, they'll be like, you know what? Hey, that does make sense. So, okay. So you got Denver winning today. So now on the other side of the bracket, let's see. There's two series that we haven't touched yet, and then we'll be pretty much done. So, which one you want to go with first?
We'll say the best for last. So we'll talk about Philly, Washington.
Okay.
This is no series. This is more of a sweep than Milwaukee, Miami to me.
Yeah. I agree.
Washington, they're just not good enough to beat Philly.
I thought Russ and Bradley Beal would get you one, but Philly's too good. They're too good, man. I'm telling you, the top of the East, them 3 top teams in the East, man. It's I know you got your pick. I know you like the offensive firepower of Brooklyn. But both of those other teams can defend. So this will be a good one to test out the theory of, kind of Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash. Can you win with not just offense, but can you win with primarily offense and your defense be subpar? The battle in the East will give you that answer because you have 2 good defensive teams at the top of the East. And then you have the one that's middle of the road to bad. And we'll see. We'll see how it comes out. Because look, this is what's crazy. I know I'm talking more about the whole Eastern Conference than the matchup with Washington and Philly, because there's really nothing to talk about.
There's nothing to talk about.
That's
a done deal. It's more like it's just the biggest like.
That's a done deal. And what's so crazy is Ben Simmons, he's interesting, man, because he had those 6 points in 15 and 15 in the other game, and people talked about him not scoring as big as his impact is defensively and, 15 and 15, but then he goes out in the next game and scores like the first 25 points or something crazy. But
it's like he's basically saying I can do it if I wanted to.
Right. That's exactly what he said. Look, If I wanted to come out here and score, there's nobody on your team that can stop me from getting to the basket.
Oh yeah, like I said before the series start, in terms of matchups wise, it's like the worst matchup Washington could have possibly. I mean, just like everyone's bigger than them.
Yeah.
They can all score the ball. Like,
Yeah. And in that first game, Seth got hot. Well, he ain't got to get hot. You just got to get him shots. Because he's not gonna shoot a bad percentage. It doesn't matter if he start off missing. If he missed 3, he's making the next 3. That's just who they are. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you put Curry on your last name, you're shooting 50% from 3. Guaranteed. But no, I was saying it's going to be interesting that second round and the Eastern Conference Finals, man, because in the next round, Brooklyn, I mean, if they get past Milwaukee, I'd be shocked. Now, I'm saying me. I'd be shocked if they get past Milwaukee. But then if they do get past Milwaukee, Philly is the way Philly plays, Brooklyn has no answer whatsoever. And after winning those 2 series, Tobias Harris, he has played his best ball under Doc Rivers, period. A couple years with Brent Brown, people may have think, well, Tobias Harris, all this money they paid for him, da-da-da-da-da. But you see under Doc Rivers who this guy really is. That's who he was with the Clippers when he came into his own. And this year, he's just taking it to a whole another level. And everybody on their team, and even Seth now looks like he can defend. You know what I mean? It's amazing when you get around a bunch of defenders.
No, we'll see. We'll see what they do in the conference. These 2 tests before that, these ain't for real.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Because even you can literally say the easiest road for any top team in these 4 sections.
Yeah.
It's Philly. They going to the conference finals.
But that's why you want the number 1 seed. That's why you want it.
Yeah, I know. You want to play that 4 or 5 in the second round.
That's why you want it. Because look, I'm telling you, against Milwaukee, Brooklyn, they getting ready to find out what they're made of. They are getting ready to find out what they are made of. Because I love Giannis' attitude. And he's got some legit help. Not that Chris Middleton wasn't legit help, because he was.
No, legit help is in 2 separate players now. With Drew
Yes. So can't wait, but we can't jump there. So now let's hit up this series. It's a good series right here.
I like this series.
And you know what's crazy is I don't think. What did I say at the beginning? Did I pick New York or did I? I think I picked.
I think you picked New York in 7.
I think I did because you talked me into it.
I talked you into the Clippers series.
You talked me into this one too. Remember, because you started telling me about the experience that New York has with Derrick Rose and
yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know, man. Atlanta, they got a squad. They got
that's one I'll change. I'll change that series right now.
They got defenders. They have scorers. They're well coached.
Atlanta is 6. Well, Atlanta is 6 because these shooters really can shoot for real.
Yes. Yeah.
And I didn't. Okay, see, this is what I didn't know. I didn't know Lou Will was going to revert back to actually being Lou Will again. See, that messed me up because he's actually experienced in the postseason.
He's at home, man, eating lemon pepper Lou wings and chilling, man. He's in his environment. So
Atlanta in 6.
Yeah,
it may be 5, honestly, because you think about that game too. Atlanta was up 17 points, man. It blew the lead.
Yeah. I think New York will win another one in New York.
Yeah, that's what I think. So I think Atlanta's going to go up 3-1 tomorrow.
They will. I don't see New York beating them in Atlanta. I don't see that at all.
I think it's proven Julius Randle, he had a great year.
Yeah.
He can't be a number one on a playoff team, though.
No, and see, and that's what we were talking about beforehand. And I was like, man, they got Capella. He said, yeah, but Julius, he da. Yeah.
He's not, I'm not going to say he's not ready because he's mentally there.
Yeah.
Like, but he doesn't have the tools for like one-on-one playoff basket, isolation.
And think about it, man. Capella has been there. Capella has been there in the playoffs against the Warriors when they were the Warriors with KD. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they were up 3-2. It ain't like Capella hasn't been there.
I mean, even Gallinari's been there.
True.
And we talk about all these young guys in Atlanta, but then we start thinking about low key these pieces, these veteran pieces.
I know
because they're not really old.
Right.
Like Capella, Gallinari, and Lou Will aren't super old, but they've been in. Well, Lou Will's kind of old.
Yeah, even though he came straight out of high school, he's been in the league a little bit. Yeah, he's been there a long time.
But his game isn't like an old type of game. It's real finesse.
Right.
But yeah, and Trae Young's fearless. I mean,
he is, man. He is.
I don't even know if he realizes it's even the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think he'll play the same way against Philly too. I think he's gonna be a problem.
He's got that mean streak about him, man. Like, because like he said, man, he's been doubted all his life.
Yeah, undersized.
Yeah, he's been doubted all his life. So, man, I'm just gonna take your heart out. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna do the whole too little thing, and I'm the smallest one on the court.
5'11", talking about he too small. A rookie. Telling a rookie too small. But this is why the Knicks won't get out of this series. RJ Barrett shot 40% from three in the regular season.
Yeah.
He's not ready for this type of basketball.
Yeah,
in terms of shooting.
Yeah. I mean, you can't expect. See, the thing is, if you're a real shooter, yes. But if you shot well during the season, but you're not like a shooter,
right?
You had to learn that behavior. Now, eventually he'll be able to keep that up in the playoffs. But you're just learning how to shoot like that. What happens in the crunch moments in the big games like this, you revert to who you really are.
Yeah, because I mean, with Atlanta, Trae Young can shoot.
He can shoot.
Kevin Huerter can shoot. Bogdan can shoot. Gallo can shoot. DeAndre Hunter can shoot.
They can
All these guys can shoot.
They can shoot, John.
So it's not like they're doing something.
John Collins, he had to really teach himself to be a shooter. And it'll be interesting to see what he's shooting from outside. You know what I mean? Which he may be, and I guess I could pull it up if I go to Basketball Reference, kind of look up what he's shooting in the playoffs. But I would venture to say his three-point shooting may be down a little bit. But everybody else, if you're a shooter, a lot of times your three-point shooting will go up in these type of situations if you're a real shooter. You know what I mean? And like you said, all of these guys, Lou Will, even though when you look at his shooting percentage with the different teams he's been on, but in crunch time moments, he can shoot.
Well, the thing is, with New York, I hate it for Derrick Rose, man.
He's balling, man. He's playing his heart out, man.
He's balling. He's the best player on that team.
He is.
And I hate that he got to go out to these dudes in Atlanta in the first round. Because I don't know how many more opportunities in the postseason Derrick Rose will have.
Well, it depends on what he decides. If he decides to stick around with Tibbs now, the thing is about New York, right? You see how they played this year. It's like Brooklyn a few years ago. They weren't no 4th seed. You know what I mean? When Kyrie and of course, Kyrie wanted to go home. So people look at it like, hold on, wait a minute. They have a nucleus. They have a great coach. Kawhi, if they lose Sunday, which I think they will, he's got a player option.
I don't think that's the fit though. I think they need to go all out for Damian Lillard. You put Dame in the New York market, oh my goodness.
That's true. That's true because they have defenders.
They need a point guard who can.
Rose don't mind coming off the bench,
right? Especially if it's to a Damian Lillard.
Yeah, Yeah.
And you can play them together, really, because from 3 to 5, they're huge. With Julius, Noel, Mitchell Robinson to be back.
He comes back, right. RJ.
Yeah. I think they go all out to go get Dame.
Dame ain't leaving though.
I don't know why.
Because he's got in his head that he's gonna be like Kobe, and
he gotta win though.
He's gonna win where he is. They're gonna figure it
out. Not
though. I'm just telling you what's on his mind.
Nah, man.
He think he is. You know why what I mean?
Why does he think that? This Denver team is only gonna be better from now on.
That's true.
And they can't beat them right now.
That's true. That's true. Denver's gonna be a problem, man.
Denver, you seeing now, these younger teams, they really coming out for real now. Dallas, Denver, even Utah to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, like the window's getting, I mean, that's why the West is wide open this year, for real. It's really not wide open. I mean, the Lakers really
right.
I don't think nobody can beat the Lakers 4 times.
People think, but at least they think it's wide open. You know what I mean?
They think it's wide
because
open.
Okay, the Lakers the 7th seed. You know what I mean? They look at, hey, look, right. Yeah, it's wide open. But they're gonna see in a couple more games, and probably in the next series.
Yeah, the next series. Denver has no chance against the Lakers anyway.
Right. They're gonna see that it's really not wide open.
Yeah.
They'll be like, we thought it was wide open.
Well, see, if somehow the Clippers can end up in that conference finals.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I don't see nobody pushing the Lakers.
You know what? And I looked at this yesterday, man. You know how I am with the Clippers sometimes, like a little bit of hate. But yesterday I was like, you know what? I hope they do win. I hope they do get to the conference finals.
Well, that's what everybody wants to see.
I do. I want them to play the Lakers, man. I really do. Because I think that's when you push. See, when you look at great players and you start talking about the greatest of all time and that type thing, you want to see them players have to push themselves to the limit. You want to see whatever they got. Let's see what you really got. Let's see you push to the point where you got to give us everything. AD, same thing. I want to see what you got to give us everything to win. Now, they don't have anybody to guard AD, but still, in order to win that series, AD is going to have to play like he's playing right now. And maybe even raise his play even above the 34, well, not necessarily just points, but just overall.
If Serge Ibaka can be fully healthy by that point, AD at least have somebody who can play defense his height.
Right.
So we'll see. Well, obviously LeBron really has nothing else to prove.
He don't, but I like to see him be just.
But I want, in realistic scenario, I want LeBron to beat the Clippers, then beat the Nets, and then it's over.
That's good. Yeah,
there should be no debate. There should be no debate.
That's a good scenario. That would be great. And I'm not just hating John, but I don't see the Nets getting out of the East. I hope it does happen.
No, you really don't.
Yes, I do. I really do. I want to see Kyrie.
No, KD, because that's my thing.
Go up against LeBron.
You don't really want to. Do you really want to see a Brooklyn team if they really got by Milwaukee and Philly en route to that? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, we saying that, but that means they would have beat Milwaukee and Philly in back-to-back series. So it's like, do you really want to see that? Because they think like they won't be ready at that point. They're gonna be more than ready at that point.
You want
to see a Lakers team play Phoenix, Denver, and Utah en route to the finals.
Right.
And Brooklyn had to beat Milwaukee and Philly in back-to-back series.
Well, this is the thing. Now, if the Nets beat Milwaukee, Philly, and the Lakers, they deserve the title.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, even though they can't play defense.
That means the three people on offense was that great that they
were that great.
Overcame every single stereotype about teams that don't defend.
Right. And and my thing is them losing 2 games in the first round and then doing what we're talking about doing. I don't see it. Even though you
Well,
don't
I
think
don't
they're
know
gonna
where you
lose.
seeing. I don't know where you seeing them losing 2 games in the first
I think
round.
they're gonna lose Sunday. As a matter of fact, I may see what the line is on that one.
You gonna bet? I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't. That's the last thing I'm betting against. I ain't betting against the Brooklyn Nets.
If it's like 400, if it's like plus 400 or something like that,
I ain't betting against the Nets. I ain't betting against the
look,
Nets.
this is the thing, man. I think I understand the psychology of this stuff a little bit. And when you look at the box scores, you look within the stuff and see what's going on. It's like, okay. I know what it says on paper. I know who these guys are, but
Okay.
yeah, everything may not be as it seems.
Well, you let me know how the bet goes after tomorrow.
Okay, so that's everybody, right?
Yeah.
So now, just briefly here, because we've been on for an hour, which is cool. But you know what? Did I hit that record button? Oh, but you know what? It's on YouTube. So
it says live on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're good. We're good. I just didn't record it to my hard drive, which I wanted to, but it's okay because it's only YouTube live, so it's in essence being recorded. Okay, so now we went through all the brackets. So now let's look at this. And I know we're just in the middle of the first round. We're almost halfway, 3 games. Some teams will play 4 games tomorrow, so we're halfway through the first round. So now let's give me your second round, just your second round matchups. Who you think in the second round, and just kind of how you think that series will go quickly here. There you go, just like they're set up.
Utah. I'm gonna say Utah Clippers.
Okay, Utah Clippers. Okay, how you think that series will go?
I think the Clippers will win that in 6.
Clippers in 6.
Utah doesn't have a Luka type of player, so I mean Donovan Mitchell is great, but Donovan Mitchell isn't 6'7", where he's the height of the perimeter defenders.
Yeah, with the body to just kind
of and like guards like Rondo, Pat Bev can really bother Donovan because they're his height.
True.
Clippers in 6 there. Lakers, Denver, 5.
Okay.
Because I think the Lakers they'll be the Lakers for that series.
Okay. By then they'll be the Lakers. I agree with that.
Jokic, you get him 1 like he did last year.
Yeah.
Philly, Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is when I think about that. Right. Philly, Atlanta.
Philly, Atlanta is Philly in 5.
Yeah. I agree with that.
They defend. I mean, Atlanta. Capella's a big body though. He still can't mess with Joel Embiid. So
that's a 5-game series, John.
Yeah,
Okay.
Milwaukee, Brooklyn. This is probably the one we disagree on. The only one. Milwaukee does look really good, man. I may change my prediction after this 4th game. I want to see how they come out in this game 4. If they come out and just dog Miami again, I'll be like, all right. I'll say, I want to say Brooklyn in 6, but this may go 7 for real. I'm going to go Brooklyn in 7. I think in the game 7, I'm sorry. I cannot put my trust in either of them 3 guys over Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. There's no way I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go Brooklyn in 7.
Okay. All right. So we got the second round pretty much set. Now, let me go back because I really think Dallas is going to win this series against the Clippers. So I'm going to say it'll be Dallas and Utah. And just hypothetically for you, if it's Dallas and Utah, who you got in that series? Utah still over Dallas.
They move the ball too well, man.
They do. Everything else, everything else is chalk. Yeah, I'm good with everything else.
All
right, man.
Well, you want to talk about your Milwaukee Brooklyn series?
We can. Yeah,
I said Brooklyn in 7, but you don't agree with that, so
No, I don't. I think Milwaukee will win in 6. I think what I see with Brooklyn is, and I think Milwaukee will look at this. Miami is a much better defensive team than Brooklyn, and they are destroying Miami. And I think Milwaukee will look at Brooklyn as Brooklyn's still playing regular season defense. And I think Milwaukee scored about what in one of those games they played against Brooklyn, and then they scored about 130 or 140 or something crazy.
So did Brooklyn, though.
I know, but I'm saying, but that's not the defense that Milwaukee's playing in the playoffs.
But that's biased, dude. I mean, like that's a Miami team, man.
It's not okay. What about Miami?
They're nowhere near the level offensively than the Nets are. Goodness gracious. I mean, their best player is Jimmy Butler, and he's barely playing.
Yeah, they're taking him out of the game, John, because
they can't take those Brooklyn dudes. They can take Kevin Durant out of the game.
Giannis can slow him down better than anybody else out there.
No, he really
in the
can't.
playoffs.
You just think he can because he's tall.
Okay.
KD had 40 last time they played.
Yeah, it was a regular season game. And Milwaukee had, how many did Giannis have?
Yeah, Giannis had 40-something too.
Right.
But Giannis is going to the basket because Brooklyn doesn't have a big. KD is, I'm making threes, pull-up jumpers.
They're going to get a big. They're going to get a big in the playoffs?
Who?
Brooklyn.
No, I'm saying, you were saying like Giannis, like KD couldn't guard Giannis or something like. No, Giannis can't guard KD because KD's shooting over him. Giannis is going to the rack. I mean, it's just, if there's no big on the court, Giannis is going to have 40. Like,
this is a 6-game series, Milwaukee. I mean, now that one, yeah, I'll take that all day long. There is watching the playoffs so far. There is nothing Brooklyn with, and there is something that Milwaukee can do with Brooklyn, but there's nothing they can defend, John.
They can't defend them.
They can defend them. Oh gosh, they can defend them. Holiday can defend Kyrie.
No, yeah, that's only.
He can defend Kyrie or James Harden.
That's it. No, Drew Holiday cannot defend James Harden, but he can defend. He can defend Kyrie because Drew Holiday's best as an on-ball defender when you're actually patting the ball, trying to go one way or
another to
your
spot,
stuff like
game.
that.
Yeah.
No, he cannot guard James Harden. There's no way. He can guard Kyrie. I'll give him
James
that.
Harden.
He's gonna slow Kyrie down. He's gonna slow Kyrie down.
What is he gonna do to Holiday?
See, James Harden didn't have to dribble around for 20 minutes. James Harden catch the ball. He does one dribble, it's a step back, and there's nothing you can do about that. Drew Holiday can do nothing about that.
Well, he better be on every game. And you know James Harden is not going to be on every game. That's not in the playoffs. That has not been James Harden. He's not on every game.
James Harden with two other guys that can score the ball like that.
And Middleton. Middleton has the size. Middleton has the size to guard this dude too.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Middleton is 2 inches taller than James Harden, man.
That's what I'm saying.
He can't guard him. He can't. Dad, you know nobody can guard James Harden.
I'm talking about it. Okay. I know you're enamored with the offense.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at this James Harden though. Was that not the easiest 41-10-6 was that not the easiest 41-10-6 you've ever seen in your life from James Harden?
Okay, who was guarding him on what you calling?
Marcus Smart don't play defense no more?
I'm not saying he don't play defense, but who was he guarding? Wasn't he guarding Kyrie most of the night?
Marcus Smart?
Yeah.
I mean, who was guarding James Harden?
I don't know. They had like
Fournier
or
It don't matter. Okay. Pat Connaughton or is Brent Forbes going to be guarding James Harden if that's the case?
No. Chris Middleton, one of the better defenders in the league, will be guarding James Harden. That's who will be guarding James Harden. I'm telling you, this matchup for Brooklyn is not good.
That's time, man.
It's not good, John. It's not good.
Okay.
Think about how good Milwaukee has been defensively, right?
We're a few days away from seeing that series.
Right. And think about this. Look at this too. Milwaukee was the #1 offense in the league.
Okay.
They were #1 in offense.
Who do you think would have been number one if they were healthy all year?
Yeah, but they're so bad defensively. This is a miss. This is so.
Jeff Green to be back. Jeff Green to be back.
Okay, good luck.
Good luck to them. I gave him the respect of saying 7, man.
Hey, okay, you think that's respect?
If it go to a game 7, who you got your money on? For real.
If it goes to game 7, yeah, I'll say Brooklyn.
Okay.
If it goes to game 7.
Thank you. Because I'm not trusting Giannis for 1 second in the game.
I don't, but the thing is, you don't have to trust Giannis.
No, you're gonna have to in the game 7 against them.
Game 7.
Who you trusting? Chris Middleton?
They don't have nobody to guard either one of them. They don't have anybody to guard Chris Middleton or Holiday. Holiday can get wherever he wants to. He can get that wherever he wants to on the floor against them. Stop what?
Kevin Durant can slow down Chris Middleton, man. Like, let's please stop with that.
Okay, he can. So they probably will put him on Middleton.
They will.
And he'll still get his.
No, he really won't. He won't.
They don't have a wall for Giannis.
They don't.
Giannis might average 50 in that series.
He won't average 50, but he'll average close to 40. He'll average close to 40.
And Kyrie trying to guard Holiday is a joke.
Nah, they may put Harden on Holiday though. They'll put Harden on Holiday because Harden's underrated. People think his defense is really that bad. Harden's defense really is not bad. It's because Harden can use his body against Holiday. Kyrie can't use his body against Holiday.
Holiday is not just he's not just a catch and shoot Holiday got game, dude.
No, he does.
He got game.
But most of his buckets are inside. He likes getting to the lane.
Because
Harden can deter that. He can at least throw him off. Harden's a big dude, man.
He is. All right, man. So that's good. We ended off on a good note.
Brooklyn in 4.
Yeah, they get ready to go 6 against Boston.
They're really not. I promise you.
Talk to me. They get ready to go 6 against Boston, which is crazy.
We'll see.
All right, John. Well, look, man, this has been fun. Like the back and forth. And we'll do this again, man. We'll just, we'll look and see after the first round is over.
Yeah, we should just keep it going how we've been doing it, like just every Saturday.
Okay. All right.
Because cool. Every Saturday is every 3-4 games.
Okay. So yeah, first round, the first round will be over for a couple teams anyway.
It'll be over for the East for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is true.
The West, there may be the West, Dallas, Clippers, and Denver, Portland may still be going on, but
yeah,
maybe. Well, Denver, Portland may not because their game is today.
That's true. Dallas Clippers, yeah, that's a possibility.
I think that's gonna go 7.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna go 7.
All right, man. So I'll see you next Saturday.
All right, sounds good.
All right, same time, same place.
All right.
All right, that's it, folks.
Peace.